Singapore was hosting the ASEAN quiz, and there was also a lot of pressure on us as the host to also do well. It had been a while since Singapore had actually won anything during the ASEAN quiz. We thought we'd only be attaining a top 3 or top 5 position. So when we obtained the top 2, which we worked very hard for, it really was something that we really felt rewarded for, because we'd spent our entire December holidays preparing for it.
ASEAN was not something we studied in school. It was not part of our history syllabus. So personally, I went into the ASEAN quiz treating it as an eye-opening experience, hoping to expose myself to as much as ASEAN as possible. As for our team, I think we had a very good strategy coming into the quiz. We each had our own designated roles, and that allowed us to execute everything to perfection.
We took a really systematic and detailed approach to how we approach the quiz questions.
We were able to share our ideas candidly and honestly with each other.
After participating in the ASEAN quiz, I have really discovered that the diplomatic relations between these member states goes far and beyond just that of the socio-cultural. It's not just a mere cultural exchange.
To be honest, I was not very aware of the inner workings of ASEAN and the events that were going on in the region before I participated in the quiz. But after I participated in the quiz, it kind of opened my eyes how much work goes into trying to organize a group of countries in the same region into one collective where everyone is able to work together in order to achieve the same goals.
ASEAN quiz itself was very eye-opening in terms of how other countries view ASEAN relative to Singapore. Opportunities to engage with one another distantly make it even easier for us to learn more about different cultures and exchange ideas and information, which in turn will benefit both Singaporeans and people from ASEAN.
I do believe that participating in the ASEAN quiz has really allowed me to gain a deeper understanding as to how and why ASEAN is so important to Singapore. Very importantly, it has allowed me to understand more deeply and comprehensively that it is very important for Singapore to maintain and establish amicable relations with our neighbours in order to ensure our political and economic stability, as well as to, of course, ensure our defensive security as well.
I think it is important that ASEAN is able to collaborate with these international powers in order to help them to grow and to thrive in an ever-changing world.
The fact that I met so many youths just like me who are vibrant, dynamic, with bold ideas, it was through this that I ultimately came out with loftier ambitions of ultimately wanting to work in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and becoming a diplomat, and hopefully getting the opportunity to serve within the region as well, working in one of the ASEAN member states.
Initiatives such as the ASEAN quiz are really helpful in allowing youth to bond with other youth from these various Southeast Asian nations. I still remember very clearly after the ASEAN quiz last year, the organizers held the networking session where we would be able to bond with the other youths via Zoom, and we would play many games. And I still remember having exchanged contacts with almost all the participants in the quiz, and I do still talk to my friends from Thailand and Brunei quite regularly, and I definitely do look forward to hosting them eventually and bringing them out for a meal.
I believe it's imperative that future generations of leaders continue to reaffirm their individual countries' commitment to forming good relations with other ASEAN member states and presenting a united front to the world that will ultimately see us become even more successful.